After Croatia reaches its freedom in 1991, this newly independent country has already faced a challenge in terms of language even before it reaches its independence. The policymaker should pay attention to the identity of its linguistic while they build and adapting to the economic and political realities in the globalization era. Language has been one of the factors to build a national identity, as it is a source of communication and also a symbol in creating an identity of a nation and also an ethnic. Historical development has the main line that concludes globalization, the growing transnational integration of economies, cultures, and political system, and that clearly would be the opposite with the newly independent post-communist state. Every nationalist language planning program tended to seek the authenticity of the language from the past to combine with identity and ethnic of a nation. For Croatian case, this establishment of language identity has a significant role for them to get rid of communist identity and build their own identity. Croatian language has a plan that divided into two levels regarding to fulfill the challenge to find the uniqueness of its identity. The two levels of plans are corpus planning and status planning. Croatian independence is leading to no way rather than a long way route of the historical development. Historical development emphasized the globalizations, the growing transnational integration of economies, cultures, and politics. The reworking of the historical narrative looks backward to establish Croatian authenticity by emphasizing the continuity of language development before the unification with Serbian. Croatian sees globalization as a place for them to do historical. Croatian wants to change and develop the phenomenon in the present and believes that their local language has a unique and important role in this era of globalization. Croatian uses their own language to conduct political, social, and economic activities because Croatian realize that the language cannot be replicated or equated and it will make them look different from the others. For example, when they hold a conference filled by officials from Croatia or Croatia state actors, they will use their language at the conference and it will be covered by the media. From that, people who see and watch will quickly realize that it is a Croatian nation because by putting Croatian language and literature firmly in the mainstream of Western historical development, the country's scholars create distance from Serbia and Serbian while promoting the idea that Croatia is a part of Western group, like the European Union. Despite being geographically situated between large empires, the Croats achieved great political and other success and managed to rebuild their national identity, their statehood, and to follow the civilized achievements of the contemporary Europe. Their scholarship helped to establish a unique linguistic identity for Croatia, the one that characterized the country as a long-time part of Western Europe culture. Croatian is clearly the only official language throughout the Republic and has maintained this status through 4 substantial revisions of the Croatian constitution, during the 90s, the Croatian government was prepared to defend the waived status of Croatian to the fullest and only slowly granted claims to the minority language groups. And also in 1994, the region adopted official bilingualisms, which are Italian and Croatian, in its fundament. The Croatian government challenged this law in the Constitutional Court, particularly because of the equality in law between Italian and Croatian put forth by the policy. At least in the case of Croatian languages policy, planners have shown the ability to adapt to the global era while still asserting for the national identity. The Croatian language persists as a symbol of the Croatian nation.